let's talk specifically about how RackN is helping teams get this right. What is your approach to tackling this complexity? Things are evolving fast. MCP was launched last year, new versions are coming out. Agentic Enterprise Foundation is also there. New models keep coming out, new services. So, how is RackN helping teams get their AI factory ready and running?
Yeah, we're not just stamping AI all over the product and calling it good. And we're not trying to pretend that a whole bunch of embedded AI is going to help anybody win in this model. I actually think that doing that would slow down the type of work that we're doing. What RackN does is we provide out of the box bare metal automation workflows. They're battle tested, they're time proven, they operate at scale. We've spent the last 10 years, banging through what it takes to make all this stuff work, and we built very concrete expertise in handling all of these systems, right? We had a customer show up and say, hey, by the way, we're buying these new servers and they're all ARM. Instead of Intel or AMD, they're all ARM servers. And our systems had already supported ARM, and so we were able to roll that in, and it was a non-issue from the customer's perspective. But that type of expertise and knowledge and having all of our proven workflows work in an ARM environment, that is something that had to be done with deliberation and care and tested over a long period of time. And so when we work with customers here, what we're bringing is tremendous amounts of proven scale workflows where we have handled the quirks, where we know how to migrate between one version of Redfish and another version of Redfish, or mix and match OEM versions of controls and Redfish versions of controls. That blending of all these components, of being able to deal with SmartNICs in an elegant way and integrate them into the delivery of how a system works, deal with the networking topology and have very advanced image deployment capabilities that respect the number of disks and drives that are being loaded into these things. Every one of those components, all of those edge conditions, those have to be handled in a correct routine way. And that's really what we've built up, is standardized workflow that is API driven, that performs at scale, and frankly, out of the box, manages all of the equipment that's getting thrown at us. Because in a lot of cases, our customers, like I said earlier, don't even know what gear is going to show up. If the Dell server shows up before Supermicro, then great. If that shows up before Quanta, then whatever's racked, that rack, you get it, you inventory it, and you go. You don't have time to say, wait, I'm not ready for the Dell gear yet. Put that one on ice for a couple of weeks while we deal with something else. Right? Nobody has time to figure this stuff out on the fly. And that's fundamentally what we're bringing, is the fact that we've already done that work. We've already established the processes, and as new things get thrown at us, Digital Rebar is already ready to handle the variations that occur naturally in the environment without having custom code, without people having to figure it out on the fly.
This year is all about AI and agentic AI. What's one thing you feel enterprises need to understand about AI infrastructure that they are still missing? People get overhyped, some are scared. What do you want them to know?
This is the other part of the AI strategy that was in your question, and I should have answered more clearly. We see agentic AI as absolutely critical to enterprises. And what we see happening is enterprises having their own agent systems. No, people don't want a RackN agentic management system. What they want is RackN, and this is exactly what we're doing, to take the time to build an MCP or a prompt dictionary so that AI knows how to use Digital Rebar effectively, so that you can issue high-level commands into your agent, and the agent will take the correct action in Digital Rebar and get a reliable result, that deterministic output rather than your stochastic parrot of pattern matching. And so what we expect to see is enterprises are going to increasingly invest in their own agentic systems. They're going to rely on one of the frontier models. They're going to build agent systems, and they're going to need to manage that. because enterprises are going to live or die on the quality of their agent responses and the guardrails that they put together for it. RackN's job is not to build an agentic system. There are already enterprises that are building them or buying them to use. Our job is to make sure that those agents have a way to interact with data center infrastructure in a reliable, repeatable way and make that as smooth as possible, and continue to build our team's expertise in helping you troubleshoot issues that arise from agents talking to systems, setting up, right? There's a whole new diagnostic skill coming, which is, and my CTO and I were having this exact experience of having Claude using Digital Rebar in a way that no human would do, but was perfectly natural for a machine, and causing issues and having troubleshooting as a consequence. We have to be ready, and RackN is ready. I think your listeners have this challenge. They know they're going to have agents. They're going to need to control those agents, and then they have to be able to diagnose and troubleshoot the problems of the agents, steer them into the right outcomes, provide guardrails for them, and then figure out what happened when the agents take actions that, while logical, are not correct. And unwinding that, understanding that, those are the skills that RackN is building into how our systems operate, so that we are the proven choice for making our enterprises, digital workers, as effective as possible.